so if you're clogged with all these negative emotions and you don't value your meat suit or yourself, how can God use you when you don't even value yourself? Welcome to Elevated Life, Real Wellness and Transformation Podcast, where we walk alongside the internally driven individual as they transform their life through wellness, movement, mindset, and personal responsibility. If that's you, you're in the right place. Let's jump in.
Today, we're going to answer a question that we recently got, which is really exciting. I love answering questions. It provides some direction, but then it kind of just, who knows where it's going to go, which is always
That's
fun.
the big thing right there. Who knows where this is going to go?
But first, I want to say you are absolutely glowing today.
Oh, well, it's because I have a suntan because it's that time of year.
Finally.
And, you know, I have my bathing suit on because after this, I'm going to go work in the yard, which is what we've been doing because it's that time of year. Totally changed my whole life, my whole outlook on life when the sun comes out and I get to put my feet on the planet every single day, get kissed by the sun every single day, hear the birds, meditate in the yard. There's nothing that compares to that.
Yeah, it's incredible because I know the way I felt from, let's say, a few days ago until right now, yesterday and waking up this morning with nothing in our lives changing. Really, it's not like we had some big windfall or, something incredible happened. It was just the sun.
Yeah.
Being able to be outside in the sun, total game changer. So if you can, or I don't even know if you can, do it. Just do it.
Yeah. It's, we've talked about this quote that goes around like, our ancestors, did I already mention this in a different podcast? I don't even care. Our ancestors, went out and touched the grass and spent time in the sun and listened to nature and, try that, to regulate your nervous system. Okay. Which I 100% agree with. The problem that I have is that there are only a few months out of the year where I currently live where this is accessible to me. And I notice such a huge reality shift when I can do that. And it's a game changer. Honestly, I don't even feel like, and we take all the supplements, it's just synthetic. It's like a placebo. This is what I've decided.
Okay.
It's a placebo and absolutely. I don't want to sit here and trash on supplements because there's definitely
they have a place.
Yeah, but if you can get the real freaking deal, it's like
no comparison.
I don't know, buying buying shoes at Walmart compared to buying a good pair of quality whatevers. I mean, it just is a game changer.
Yeah.
And also, totally I'm working on my tan because we leave for Kauai in less than 2 weeks. Yeah, you heard it.
Yeah.
We're going to Kauai. Yeah. In fact, when this airs.
When this comes out, it'll be a week.
Yeah.
We'll be getting ready to get on a plane in a week.
And I've been asked several times, Jonna, are you coming back? My answer to that is...
Hold on. Including by me several times.
Yeah. I don't know. And I mean that literally. There is a chance that I don't come back. I'm just opening myself up to anything at this point. So anyway, that Clint's like, oh my gosh, don't say that on the air.
We'll see how this goes.
Yeah. No, I'm super excited. I can't get it off my mind. This is what I have called my Ask the Land trip. I'm not going to elaborate on that until I return and we record a podcast. So I am really excited.
So stay tuned for that because that's going to be a big one.
Huge.
Potentially.
Yeah, I feel that's definitely the blow your mind emoji podcast. So,
All right, let's get into
yeah,
this
let's
today.
get into it. What's the question?
Do you have the question pulled
I
up?
do. So
right.
this was in response to last week. Yeah, I could say officially last week's podcast that aired on Wednesday,
On the 5th. Yeah.
on the 15th.
Yep.
When I was talking about my daughter Olivia's parasite cleanse, and I was talking about how every human has a superpower. And we got the question, how do I find my superpower? And so we want to dive into this because I think that it's important. I think that people are searching, at least the people that are listening to this podcast, to learn and not judge. You know, they're wondering, okay, like, what is my superpower? So let's dive into it. And I'm going to toss the ball over to Clint first.
All right.
Yeah.
I would just echo as we're getting into it. It's such a fantastic question for, I think, really, and where we are too, I think, but it just on that journey, on that path of, as you start to kind of wake up to things or realize things, and you start to do some work, and maybe you even start in with the, like if you go back to some of our old podcasts, the things that you can do, like grounding and breath work and meditation, and so you're kind of like gathering these tools. And then this is one of those, how do I put it all together?
Sure.
Kind of things. This isn't step one.
No.
How do I find my superpower? Well, you've got a lot of stuff to do before you really get to this point.
And I would say, go ahead.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
I would say the reason for that is because you are a conduit. Your meat suit is a conduit for source to work through you. You all have a calling and superpowers. But if your conduit is blocked by limiting beliefs, mindset, you're boxed in, you like to put God in a box, you like to put source in a box because of religion. Like, these are all blockages. Not only those things, but also if you don't treat your body like it's a temple and you are toxic, you eat toxic food, you drink toxic drink, you speak toxic words, you don't move the energy out of your body through exercise, you don't value yourself, you're just, you're not walking in the fullness of what you were created to walk in. This is why, in my opinion, books like The Purpose-Driven Life and, religious folks trying to find their purpose, that's like one of the biggest bestsellers in the Christian world, because they don't have purpose because they have boxed God in.
Oh,
that's
sure.
my opinion.
Okay.
Right? Like, I've been taught that God only does this and that I'm separate from God. When you realize that we're all one and that you're not separate, and all this guilt and shame that religion wants to sell you, that lives in your body. It's stored in your body. You believe it. You make an agreement with it, just like I talked about on last week's podcast, and it takes up shop. And those are all clogs for you to hear from source, right? Source is expressing itself through you. We're like a drop in the ocean, and source is the ocean. So we're all one. It's God expressing himself. This is my belief. There's proof in the pudding with this. So,
and without getting too deep onto the religion tangent, at least at this point.
Yeah, we're going to get into it.
Yeah. We will answer the question too, though.
Yeah.
But, it's not coincidental that in many religions, let's say that, it's that blockage that John is talking about, that's reinforced. So every time you kind of are moving away from that blockage, then you go to many religious services, whether it's Friday or Saturday or Sunday or Wednesday, it doesn't matter. And then the message is, oh no, you're still fucked up.
Oh, all the time.
You're still a piece of
Yeah.
shit.
You're a piece of shit, but now you have Jesus, so you're less of a piece of shit. So now it gives you the right to tell everyone else that they're a piece of shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
So,
and when you realize that you were actually created perfectly and you have an ego that you need to battle, and, you know, you're not a piece of shit, then your whole world changes. But then you have to start believing it. This is the part of, how do you find your superpower, right?
Hey, friends, if you're getting something out of this, connect with us on our social media platforms. We're at CJ Elevated Life _ on Instagram and TikTok, and CJ Elevated Life on Facebook and X. We're answering DMs, sharing daily content, and building community with people ready for real transformation. For now, hit subscribe wherever you're listening, Apple, Spotify, YouTube. We drop 2 new episodes every week. And if this episode resonates, share it. That's how we reach more people who are ready for change. You can also find everything at cjelevatedlife.com. All right, let's keep going.
yeah, so that belief and that mindset shift, which can be aided with a lot of those other things that we're talking about, whether it's meditation, grounding, exercise, eating healthy, all those different components of it. Those are all like I like to say, pieces to build the tool,
Yeah.
to build the process. And they're valuable. I mean,
Yeah.
they're so valuable, but they aren't executing for you.
Right.
They're showing you where the hammer is. They're not picking it up and hammering the nail in.
Sure. And
Yeah,
go ahead.
No, go
That
ahead.
is the preparation of the vessel, right? So if you're clogged with all these negative emotions and you don't value your meat suit or yourself, how can God use you when you don't even value yourself? I mean, seriously. So,
Yeah, to follow along with that analogy, it's like I'm trying to hammer in this nail, but I haven't even picked up the hammer yet.
yeah.
I'm trying to hammer it in with my hand or whatever, and like, why isn't this working? What's going on? But you haven't even you're on step 5 and you haven't done steps 1 through 4 yet.
That's because people don't want to take the time. They don't. I mean, I saw this quote. I have to read it because it's the facts of the facts. Deep healing will be ugly, painful, and loud to look at. It's entirely unglamorous. Everything else is branding. And everyone wants this quick fix. I don't care if it's, I want to lose 100 pounds in 6 months. It takes time. It has been years of unpacking all of the limiting beliefs. Takes a long time. However, what I do know is that Source meets you right where you're at and just keeps giving you the tools, right? But you have to be willing to look inward. The other thing I see on the other spectrum is people constantly trying to grab for outside sources like a book, a Reiki healer, a past life regressionist, whatever. Now, these are great tools to get you going on your way. But at the end of the day, just like this quote, you have to get fucking real with yourself. That's just what it is. And once you start to clear out all of the things that are clogging the pipe between you and your superpower, your purpose, whatever, those things become way clearer. But if you keep circling, OODA looping, right, in your mind, like, oh, I'm just not good enough, I'm just not this enough, at some point, that's exhausting because I've gotten caught in that where it's just like, and you just get tired of it, like legit. And I think that's just part of the individual's healing process is you're like, okay, this is serving me no more. I'm done. I'm sick of it. Just like when you decide, I'm sick of being 200 pounds overweight. I am so sick and tired of it. I'm all done. I don't care how long it takes. I'm going to do the thing. And that's it. And there have been certain points in my life where that has happened. And then the path becomes clear. Your superpower becomes clear. Your purpose becomes clear, whatever that is. But if you're just sitting there waiting to get it through osmosis because God and everything is outside of you and, you know, it all of a sudden is just going to zap into your brain, but you don't have to do anything wrong. It's just, it doesn't work like that.
Or even just because the thing that popped into my head with that is like a meditation. You know, like, okay, I got this book on meditation and I followed the steps and I did the things and I don't feel like anything happened. Well, because you were doing somebody else's work.
Yeah, I mean, we've had this conversation endless because I fell into this. I was like, oh, this is how I'm supposed to do it. I've been doing this wrong my whole life, blah, blah, blah. And then I started going, you know what? I'm going to start listening to myself. What is working for me? What is working for you is great because I've said this before. We all have a handprint and it's different. And we all commune with source differently. That's just how it is. That's why the scriptures are made up of a bunch of stories of how those men communed with the Almighty, right? But it isn't like that for everyone. It's different. So you have to learn also how to trust yourself. I think that self-trust is such an issue, especially for women, well, probably for men too. I don't want to speak for men, but self-trust is a thing. I know for me that I've gotten caught up in, whoa, Trina, that is way too woo. Like, maybe you're just like making that up and blah, 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 right? But now I'm like, no. And it took a lot of years to get to the point, and this is very new for me. This is a new epiphany within the last 2 weeks where I'm like, I know my intuition. I don't give a fuck what anyone else says about it. This is real, and I'm walking completely in it. And when those limiting thoughts have come in, I'm like, nope, it's not serving me. But that, you know, that takes time, obviously, because that's been something I have battled for decades. Yeah.
And I just want to make a clarifying point to that. When we talk about, you know, needing to do stuff, follow your own intuition, that kind of thing. And maybe I've already stressed this too much, but I'm going to again. Stuff like getting a book on or listening to a podcast on meditation as a place to start is fantastic. If you're like, I don't know what the hell to do. It doesn't even, I have no idea. So then it's like, okay, here's a thing that you can try and try that. And there's nothing wrong with trying it exactly how it's laid out. Try saying these words in this order, in this position, and, you know, whatever. The key is then when you're doing that, listen to yourself.
Yeah.
And feel like, oh, this doesn't seem right. Let me modify this for what I'm doing. Or maybe this is fantastic. This is exactly what I needed. Awesome. So we're not saying you can't use those things.
No.
It's just that's the first step.
Right. And I just want to give another analogy.
Yeah.
This is exactly why when people start prioritizing their health and fitness, that you would hire a coach or a personal trainer because you don't know what to do.
Exactly.
Right? But then my philosophy as a coach and a personal trainer is at some point, you have to learn how to show up for yourself because you are an adult. It is not my problem if you don't want to, you know, eat correctly, if you don't want to fuel your body like an expression of the Almighty. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that, but it's not my fault, right? If you're deciding those things. So you use that as a tool to then learn to then be responsible for yourself. This constant outsourcing, whether it be, oh, now I got to go to this healer and now I got to go to that healer for the 15th time and I still haven't had a breakthrough. What you need to do is sit down with your damn self and not live so much in your limiting beliefs, the lies that you've told yourself. Cleanse and purify your body, and then you're going to get clarity. Is it going to take a week if you do all those in order? No, it's not, because it's been a lot of years that you have made agreements with these thoughts. Now, if you're 18 and listening to this, well, frickin' rad, because you have a lot less unpacking to do. But for someone who is, 49, I was just telling Clint yesterday, maybe I said it on yesterday's podcast, but I knew myself more when I was 18 than I did when I was 40. And I just had this realization and I remember the decision of, you need to shrink, you need to tamper down, you need to make this decision right here because it's good for everyone else. I remember doing that. I knew more about my soul. I was deeper connected to my soul when I moved to Maui, because there's something about the Hawaiian Islands, than I did when I was 30. Because I was like, well, where's the next mask? Oh, let's put on this mask. Oh, yep, please all the people. Please the people. And something magical happens when you are midlife. People like to call it a crisis. They like to say you're perimenopause, you're crazy. No, it's a soul retrieval. That's what it is. And it's the best thing ever. It is.
If you embrace it.
If you embrace it and you prepare for it. Because I'm not trying to say that perimenopause doesn't suck for a lot of women. But if you know what's happening and you prepare for it, it can be amazing, especially if you've done your healing work before.
And I would still just clarify a little bit. It can be amazing. That doesn't mean it's easy.
No.
That doesn't mean it's fun.
No, you're still going through a portal.
Yeah.
Hellacious size. I'm not trying to minimize it at all. None of this, I mean, like I said earlier with the quote, ugly, painful, loud, not glamorous at all. That's what all of this work is. And the rest is just branding. Oh, buy my blah. Oh, this is what I look. Most women, after they deep dive into their soul, they're number one, enraged. And you have to work through that rage. So if you're trying to suppress that rage because everyone thinks you're just this nice person and, oh my goodness, so lovely, you're going to have to work through the rage. And that's, there's fire in that. You're going to have to work through it. And then after that, it's like sadness, right? And then pretty soon you get to this lovely place where you're like, I'm all done. Like, I am all done putting myself out there, being the caretaker for everyone, helping all these people. I'm going to help myself. And we've talked about this before. You can't help other people until you help yourself. And that's so packaged as being selfish and, okay, world, you can take your package and shove it up your ass at this point, right? Like, it's not serving anyone. There's no fruit in it at all. And again, I want to reiterate what Clint said, not that those other modalities, the Reiki and the things that are actually healing people, right? Not the fake religious stuff.
But those are only going to work if you're prepared to allow them to work.
Preach.
That's the
exactly.
Key.
Right? First of all, expanding your consciousness and not believing, oh, that's from Satan. That is from Satan. Because I just want to, this is the other thing that I've been pondering for the last couple of weeks. And actually, when I say last couple of weeks, what I mean is this has been one of my main questions to God my entire life. Because I saw people within the church that I was affiliated with, which is like Assembly of God, non-denominational, Baptist, whatever. All these people getting sick, having all these ailments. and then the laying on of hands happens, and then they're dead. And I just was like, wait a second, because Yeshua said that you would do greater works than these, greater works than what Yeshua was doing when he walked on the earth. Where's the fruit in that in the church? Sure, you have some random healings, right? And that potentially is because the person actually believed, because the power is within you, in my opinion. But then you have these other modalities that would have gotten you burned at the stake back in the day, that are things like energy work, past life regression. What else? What else could we put in that? Any form of energy work.
Yeah, I think energy work is very broad.
But they are actually giving people, they're healing people. Now, in my opinion, people are healing themselves because they actually have expanded their consciousness to believe that they can receive healing. But it's a tool, right? And I just don't see that within religion. I don't see your healings. I don't.
Well, it goes back to, basically what you were just saying is the idea is someone else heal me.
Yeah.
Someone else, even if that someone else is God, in religion, God, you need to heal me. And I am very much of the belief that the response is, no, you need to heal you.
Well,
I'll give you the tools.
Sure.
Or show you the tools. I'll show you the methods. But you have to do it yourself.
And it's all in the mind, because when Yeshua healed, what did he say? You're healed because of your belief.
Mm-hmm.
That's why.
Yeah, and I mean, we're really getting on religion here with superpowers, but I guess it kind of relates.
It all relates.
It's very easy when you hear that to think, oh yeah, because I believed in you.
No, they believed that they would be healed.
Right, exactly. That's an important distinction that gets lost, because it's way easier for a lot of people in a lot of scenarios to believe in somebody else over themselves.
Oh, for sure. I mean, that's the whole problem with humanity. Look at the politics.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just, and the reason why is because it's ugly, right? But if you want to get your superpower, you're going to have to do the work. You're going to have to quit outsourcing everything. Hey, quick pause. If this episode is hitting you and you're ready for real tools, here's what we built.
Head on over to cjelevatedlife.com, pick up the Rebuilt Method for Men or the Rebuilt Method for Women, just $67 each. We also created the Parasite Detox Blueprint at $37. And this is actually the exact protocol we use ourselves.
And while you're there, sign up for the newsletter. You'll get the weekly action steps and new tools we've tested ourselves. Let's get back to the episode. And the road will be open. Your purpose, your superpower, all of it. And there's never an arrival date. Guys, this is just like, your health journey that we always talk about. Like, there's no like, oh, I've arrived, now I'm going to quit. You just morph and get more superpowery. Honestly, it just keeps coming and coming and coming. And pretty soon you're walking on water. Oh, blasphemy. Nope. Jesus said that we would do more than that. So good try. So
one other thing though,
Yeah.
and I think we say this in every podcast now, but it bears repeating. Even, it's an infinity loop of growth. So one of the things that's super important, especially if you're earlier in that, is recognizing that and knowing, okay, I'm really good. I dealt with some things. I made some growth. I'm kind of riding high right now. I haven't come to a point where that stops coming back, meaning something else is going to come. Something else is going to come. And then it's the easy thing, I guess, or a tendency I think that you might have when you're early on in it is be like, oh, well, I thought I was good, but then this other thing happened. Then I had these other feelings, and so clearly I'm not. So now I'm going to give up because it's not for me. I'm not supposed to be enlightened or elevated or have any sort of spiritual ascension because I was doing things and it was good, and then this shitty thing happened. So I'm going back to my NPC life, and that's something that you have to resist. And that's something I think that you get better at the more you do it. I don't know that it gets easier because I think those challenges, just by the nature of how things work, those challenges get more difficult as well. But you get better at fighting them. You get better at handling them. And so then you can continue that, that infinity loop cycle.
It's just like when you're learning to deadlift. It's hard the first time. You don't know the body mechanics of it. It's like you've got to think of 15 things at once or you're going to break your back, right? The first time you do it seems overwhelming and like, oh my goodness, I'm never going to learn this. And then all of a sudden, because you're practicing and you're practicing and you're practicing, you get better and better and stronger and stronger. It's the person that goes, no, that's too hard. I don't want to do that. And I'm at the point now, and I think it's because what was my vision? I keep calling it a crevice. Chasm.
Yeah.
The Chasm podcast.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, cool. You're right. It's not for you because I'm not going to change anyone's mind. They're going to have to change their own mind. That's how it is.
The deadlifting analogy is so great because deadlifting never gets easier.
No.
It doesn't, your form gets better, you get better, you get more efficient at it.
More
all those
present.
Things, but it never gets easier.
Yeah. I totally agree.
What a fantastic analogy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, and that's how it is with anything. And when we talk about the limiting beliefs, it's the people that go, oh, I can't do that. Oh, I'm too old. I'm too old to get my superpower. I'm too old to, learn how to lift weights or treat my body with any kind of respect at all. It's just, okay, then live in that. And that's cool because it's your life and I don't like to assert myself into people's lives. But I'm really not talking to those people.
Right.
I'm talking to the person who's like, yes, I want to keep going. It's dirty work. It's dirty jobs times a billion. Yeah. So anyway, I hope that was helpful. Right?
I think we answered the question.
Yeah.
Didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
How do you find your superpower? Look within.
Oh my gosh. That's going to be the answer for everything. I want you guys to, if you haven't learned anything from us, you're going to have to sit with yourself in silence and open up those gaping fucking wounds. That's just what's going to have to happen. And let them bleed out. Let them bleed out. Get all of the filth and the bacteria and the infection out. And then when it bleeds out, because blood is a purifier, right? It cleans the wound. Then you can cover it with love and compassion and forgiveness for yourself and understand that hurt people. And then you can move through it. That's it.
Yeah.
You got to purify the vessel, though. You have to purify the vessel.
I do think it's important to remind you all that, yes, it's looking within yourself and doing all those things that Jonna just talked about. That doesn't mean you have to do it alone. You can have support. You can have people around you that support you, and those people, the truly supportive people, are going to be the ones that are like, hey, if you need somebody to cry with, come and cry with me, but I don't have answers for you.
Yeah.
You have the answers. I can give you a hug, and I can say, hey, let's keep going. You've got people around you, but I can't do it for you.
Yeah.
I can't give you the answers.
And maybe you don't have people around you, because part of your awakening is realizing that you don't have people around you.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're alone in this, I totally get it.
Mm-hmm.
I have been alone in this my entire life. I think Clint is the first person who has ever created space and said, no, you're not fucking crazy. You're not, but you are a little. It's true. It's just true. Like I've just been alone, because you can't, when you say things like what I talk about, no, I would say Megan too, right? Megan and I, okay, so sorry,
Okay.
you got to share that spotlight with Megan.
That's okay.
But, people just think you're a wackadoo, and they're so quick to just spill all their trauma response onto you, or their insecurities or their jealousy. So, if you are blessed to have people that you can cry on and just, blather, I would say Ada is coming to that picture too now. Like,
Yes.
Spirit's telling me, wait a second, you have more people. Hold on to those motherfuckers tight, but don't smother them. Don't smother them, but hold on to them tight, because they are gems. They are absolute gems, especially if they, aren't going behind your back talking about, because there's a lot of that. Oh, yes, John, I'll listen to your woo, but behind your back, I'm going to.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think we've kicked the horse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, you guys. Thank you for listening. Have a lovely day. And I look forward to giving you all the updates on Kauai.
No kidding. That's going to be fun. All right.
So fun.
We'll talk to you soon.